hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. I'm never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes. I'm never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes.
Welcome to probably the most unprofessional live that I have done. This has been a nightmare. I don't know if you know this, I'm a Mac guy, and I have a mini PC that's sitting behind the display that I'm looking at you through, and oh my gosh, how much I've forgotten about Windows. It's horrible, horrible, horrible. But today, I have quite a few pages, or tonight, I have quite a few pages of stuff, and hello to everyone. I'll get to the chat. I see already. I see Simrig, Down Lake, I see you, I see everyone, but I don't want to start with the shoutouts just yet. I have all this stuff I want to get to, so what I want to do is first point out the obvious. Do you see that I finally got more sheetrock back, but I'm having a problem. Now I have 5/8" sheetrock on the walls, and I'll get to today's topic that I know you clicked on to see. But the problem that I'm having now, I can't get anyone to finish the sheetrock for me. I got stood up by 4 sheetrock finishers this week. So apparently, if you're wanting to be a little flaky, maybe Florence, Alabama sheetrock finishing is the option for you. But I also have options. I have what's called the Tape Buddy. I bought it a long time ago. Never did anything with it. I'm thinking I might try out my hand at sheetrock finishing, which could only go bad. But if it does, there's OSB. You can't see it, but all the other, I have 3 walls of 5/8" sheetrock, which I wanted for sound deadening, and I have OSB everywhere else. If I had it to do all over again, I'd just do OSB. OSB everywhere. We're already out of the first sheet. How about that? Hey Sonia, how are you? Good to see you in here. I appreciate you being here. And as I mentioned just a second ago, I'll get to today's topics, and I also want to apologize for the audio. A few people have mentioned the audio was bad. And I'm on a Brio, a Logitech Brio camera. I'm using the audio through that. I bought this thing to use. Apparently it doesn't work. $99, and I think I got a defective one. So hopefully I'll get that returned tomorrow, and then maybe the next time on the next live stream, you'll have good audio, actual good audio. So I apologize, and thank you for sticking with me through the horrible, horrible audio. So mentioned a couple of other things, studio related. The lighting that I use, you can kind of see right up there. You can kind of see the little roundness of a light. I have 3 of those, but I also have these. Get this one here. These are some little lights that someone that used to help me with the live streams recommended. And you know, there's a point where you kind of only hear what you want to hear. And I'm really bad about that sometimes. I think we all are as humans. But these are great lights, I use them. But I totally tuned out the part where he mentioned that there's a specific camera battery that he uses with them, which matches a camera that he has. So I buy them, and I'm shoving, I think 6 or 8 double A's into these things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 double A's into these things. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 6. 6 or maybe 5. Double A's into these things. 10 minutes. 10 minutes was the life that I got out of these. And the sad part, I don't know where they are. Oh, here's one. I have 2 more brand new in the box. So if anyone needs some studio lighting, there's a specific camera battery that works with these. Maybe it's on the box. I'll give them to someone that needs them. Because they were bright and they have these color shields. They're really cool, but I can't remember what camera battery it is that works in them. But maybe if you see something that would fit into that, if you know and you need them, feel free to hit me up on the chat on my website. And hey, Romans Downtime, how are you? Jacob Thomas, Endless Parts. I appreciate you all being here. But if anybody needs any of these, I have 4 of them. So if you only need 2 and someone else needs 2, let me lay these down without damaging them. Also want to mention, I had the piece of paper that told me who this was from, but I hadn't checked my P.O. box in forever. A long time forever. And a viewer, make sure I don't get their name. I'll say Jeremy. He gave me his Instagram. So Jeremy, the next live stream that I do, I'll try to find this piece of paper that's somewhere in here close. And I'll give you a shout out for your Instagram. But he gave me these brifters, these Advent X brifters. 2 of them are in this bag. So I appreciate that. He's trying to convert me over to the dark side, to the whole gravel bike thing. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. But I do appreciate that. I also want to mention stickers. Probably should have grabbed one. Here's one. I gave away a few stickers in the last live stream. So anyone that's tuned in on the live stream here, this time I'm going to make it easier. It's only going to be 1 sticker, or this one type, which is the standard Kev Central 2x2 sticker. But if you took part in the live stream and you commented in the chat so that I know you're here, you can head over to my website, click on the chat on the bottom right hand corner, and let me know that you were in on the live stream, and I'll give you a free sticker. I'll pay the shipping and all. So, hey, it's a free sticker. I was shocked. I had so many people in chat the last time that wanted a sticker, but only a handful. I actually redeemed the whole sticker thing. So, thanks for coming. You can get maybe one of these light things or a sticker, a Kev Central sticker, the 2x2 that fits perfectly on down tubes, seat tubes, whatever you want to put it on. All right, now another thing, I can lean over to grab this. We're just about here. We're just about to today's topics, but housekeeping stuff. Okay, I'm a Mac user. I've established that. As a matter of fact, here's in my MacBook. I'm a Mac user. I have multiples, a Mac Mini, MacBooks, other stuff. I can't, it's all blurring right now. But when it comes to live stream, it's kind of a weird thing that happened. Not that MacBook, but my previous MacBook was a 2018, I believe it was. Apple, it was the Core i9. It was like the last one that they made. That was the Core i9. It was also the top end one that they made, I believe. It was pretty good for a while, and then it started lagging, like, Apple stuff mysteriously tends to do right around update time for a new product. Your older stuff will start getting a little slower mysteriously, but they don't throttle stuff according to what they say. I probably should bring a tinfoil hat for this. But the weird thing, that Core i9 MacBook, I tried to do a live stream on that with this webcam, and the audio and the video were so far off, it couldn't keep up. It couldn't do both, and no matter how much I adjusted, it was just horribly off. So I bought a mini PC. I looked for the box, but it's my second one. It's behind the display that you're on. It's a AMD Ryzen 5 2500U. It's just this little cheap one. It's the second one I have because they last about a year. It can mysteriously do the audio and video at the same time. The only problem with it, my big complaint with it, is you can't see, but I have a mouse here. And if you ever used a computer that's just a little slow, like you go to your grandmother's house and you use her computer and you move the mouse, you're like, how do you deal with this? That just extra little bit of lag. Well, that's what I have to deal with. So when I'm interacting with you and I'll scroll up and down here on my screen, can find my mouse now. Oh, there it is. Okay, when I'll scroll up and down on this screen, it's laggy. I roll and then it moves. So it's very hard for me to keep up with this. So what I did was I got tired of that. I teetered on the edge of getting a new Mac Mini, but then I found out that for some reason the M2 Mac Mini, the lowest level one, the hard drive's 90% slower than the M1 Mac Mini, which makes no sense except that it makes Apple sense. So I bought another mini PC, but this one is a Beelink Sur 6. It's, I think, 70 something percent faster than the one that I have. Double the memory, all that. So hopefully the next time that you're in a live stream and you come here, I'll have better audio from maybe a mic that works, a $99 brand new mic that doesn't work. Hopefully I'll have that working, and it'll be faster so I can actually chat with you here, because I have to see what you're saying here. Then if I need to respond to anyone, I have to go to my MacBook to respond, because this is just too slow to get it done. So that's my deal right now. Ryzen 7, I don't know which model. It's one of the fastest ones. It's supposed to be almost as fast as the new Ryzen 9 6900, but it does have the Radeon 680M RDNA 2. So that will be that. The final thing before I get to today's topics, can't enunciate that well tonight. If you knew what I went through to get all this done, I almost called it off. It's so late. But I want to give a shout out here, not to anyone that watches the channel, but I want to tell you about a story. The other day I was sitting around, I pull up YouTube, and one of my favorite YouTubers was on a live stream. I've never seen him on a live stream before. And there's a YouTube channel called Emo's Not Dead. And I don't know if you know anything about emo or if you like emo bands or whatever, but there's this guy's name is Matt Cutshaw, and he's a genius. First off, he's massively talented. He, I think, was in a boy band or something, but he has this channel if you're not familiar with it, and you know what emo is. He will start out and someone will say a word to him or a phrase that's from some old emo song, and he turns into his emo self. He's got like the black wig, the black eyeliner, his girlfriend's jeans, and he ended up making so popular with this channel that he's released a few songs with his own band called Your Broken Hero, which is a total emo name. Absolutely perfect. He's really talented, like absolutely talented. He's coming out with a new album. So I saw that he released this new video, and then he was doing the live corresponding with that. So I commented something about liking the song or whatever. And he actually gave me a shout out on his channel, pulled up my channel, talked about it. So I'm returning the shout out, Matt Cutshaw from Emo's Not Dead. Go check out his website. It is amazing. The website, all his videos on YouTube, his YouTube channel. Good stuff. I'm thinking about making an Emo's Not Dead bike. An Emo's Not Dead themed bike, or an emo themed bike, just to see what I could pull off with that, because I even had a picture of some of my emo days. It was almost embarrassing. I taught myself out of uploading it to show it to you. But thanks for giving me a shout out on your live stream. So I'm repaying the favor, Matt. You are awesome and super talented. Can't wait for the full album, because this most recent song was great. All right, now that we've got this far, I'm going to give a quick look here to give a few shout outs to the people that are in the chat here. So I think I got, let's see, Sirhat, I don't even know how to pronounce the last part of that. So I'll just say, hey, you've got a pink hand waving, so thank you. Let's see, Axe Crafter, hello to you. Jimmy Widler, and I'm having, like I'm not one of those that can pull up to a tag. Someone at a red light with a tag, and I'm almost about to sneeze. So if I mysteriously go to Do Not Disturb, you'll know why. And I should have muted my phone. So let's see, Ben Toy, Derek Fox, Sean A. Garrison, seen you in here before. Of course, our friend Simrig PC27B. There's Sarah again. You inspired me to build my first mountain bike ever. Thanks for making me spend $2,500 on a Mongoose. Oh, you did it on your own. You did it on your own, but congratulations with your build. Darren Bennett, hello to you. Of course, Sonia, one of my favorite people to be here, along with everyone else, of course. Contractors in today's world are awful. Going back to my sheetrock, yeah, just horrible. Jacob Thomas, I'm glad you love the channel. Endless Parts, that could almost be an emo thing. Hey, Roman's Downtime, how are you? I'll look at your messages, everything that you've said here. I can't give credits. Yeah, Apple Silicon is greater than Intel. Wait, is that the greater than or less than? Yeah, it's a greater than. Benji22, how are you? Yep, that's a Hyper Mid Drive. Working on it. Give you guys a little teaser here. Those Maxxis tires are on the Schwinn rims that came on, so I think, an Axle. And those are tubeless. I set those up tubeless for some build before I converted it to the other, whatever else I put on whatever else. But I'm now going to put those on this bike just to see how they do. Just to see how they do, see how they fit, stuff like that. So that's kind of you get the in the know here for being in on the live screen or live stream. Rock Mumbles, hello to you. Corey Carmichael, hello. Heading my way, hello to you. Again, I'll read all your messages. Timothy Roberts, John B, Sonia, ASLMX1, Amy Fogarty, hello. Haven't seen you in a while. You are one of my original back in 2000-ish era live streams. Hello to you. Thank you for being here. And Abu Dalaziz Yusuf, don't make, no. Don't talk about our Walmart bikes. Don't talk about, because not everyone rides a bike the same. Walmart bikes, most of us started out on a Walmart bike, so they have their place. I like to modify them to be what I think they can be a little bit better, but I don't recommend anyone follow my lead. I think you're here just to enjoy seeing what I do and hope that I don't break my neck while I'm doing it. But also at the same time, I've been pretty happy with my results, and there are people that I think even before me, like the XR Pro, which we're going to be talking about. The XR Pro, there are people modifying that before I even got one, and I think they're still running. So yeah, thank you for commenting, but don't trash Walmart bikes so much. I mean, they have their place. I always say though, if you do have, if you have $2,000 and you want to go spend on the bike, obviously that's way better than buying one and then putting parts on it because you're voiding your warranty the second you do that, all that stuff. But let's talk about some Walmart bikes. Let's talk about Mongoose. That's the title here that we're dealing with. Shut that. I'm seeing myself move. It's a little freaky. Okay, so here's the deal with Mongoose. We've had the Giordanos, we've had the Trouvaille, we've had a bunch of new bikes in 2022, late 2022 and early 2023. People have been asking me about Mongoose. What is Mongoose going to release in 2023? Well, it just so happens that I reached out to a contact who is an engineer at Mongoose, and I got what I guess I could call official word. I asked them if I could share this. They said they didn't have a problem with it. And this is what they said. If you're sitting down, fine. If you're not sitting down, you might want to at least lean a little bit on a chair. Just a little bit. It's not that bad. It's not bad. As a matter of fact, it's good. It's good, and it's a testament to how good their 2020 and 2021 and 2022 bikes were, the early 2022. But here is what I was told. They are going to have some new models come out at Walmart for 2023. They're not mountain bikes though. They're BMX bikes. That's its own clique. A lot of people love BMX. Mongoose makes some good BMX bikes. So there's that. No mountain bikes, but I did get told, but ... there is the Ledge X1. People have been asking if the Ledge X1 has been out of stock for a long time, if it was going to be coming back, or if they were just going past it to something else. According to them, for 2023, there is the Ledge X1, the Ledge X2, the Dolomite ALX, the Durham, the XR Pro, be coming back to that, the Grit, etc. So all of our favorite Mongoose bikes, I guess, they're not going away for 2023, and inventory and supplies are going to be coming back in, according to my contact, including the Ledge X1. I know the X2 has been out there, but the X1, I'm a 27.5 guy, 27.5 guy. I built that really awesome project that you're going to be seeing again soon, especially with the new trails out at the mountain bike trail, the new ones that they've cut. So there we go. Ledge X1s, X2s, all of our favorites will be at Walmart in 2023. So no worry about them going away. And they use the term carryover, so I guess they're carrying over those brands into 2023. So hopefully we'll get something new in 2024. But really, the new thing, constantly creating something new, that's good. And I guess it's good in its own way, but at the same time, there's a point where you're skipping over really good stuff that's already there just to make something new. And in a way, I'm glad that the Ledge X1 and the Ledge X2 are carrying over to 2023 as their 2023 full suspension mountain bikes at Walmart, because I have one, I enjoy it, I know a lot of people like theirs, so hey, we've still got the latest and greatest, because you know what I'm talking about. You buy an iPhone and then 3 weeks later the newest iPhone comes out. You're gonna have that, and then the next thing comes out. Example, they released the M2 processor, I don't know if it was late December or early January. They're already talking about M3s and other Macs, like a Mac Mini or something like that. So anyway, that's the word for Mongoose for 2023. And I'm kind of glancing, and I see someone here, Benji22, is asking, that makes you sad. Well, don't worry, we still have the good ones that are still there, are going to be coming back in stock, the ones that aren't there right now. But also you asked, what about Schwinn? Well, that's pretty funny because I'm about to get the Schwinn, but before I leave Mongoose, I even have like a little Mongoose patch here, huh? Look at that. I have two Mongoose patches. There's Maurice the Mongoose. I need to put those on a jacket of some kind. Or I could be like that 80s, not 80s, that, what was it, 10 years ago? People were getting stuff tattooed on their foreheads for internet brands. Not a wise decision, but people were doing it. But before I leave Mongoose, I want to talk about the XR Pro. We all know the XR Pro. It's in the thumbnail on this live stream. So when you went to click on it, you saw the XR Pro. I had, and I unfortunately didn't write down their name, but I had a viewer that has an XR Pro, and I don't know if they broke something or lost something, whatever, but they needed one of the bushings or one of the pins, something for the suspension kit. And they said that they contacted Mongoose support, and Mongoose support told them they no longer had that part, which I found interesting because I know that right now, or at least 2 days ago when I looked, Walmart on the website, there were still brand new XR Pros that you could buy on the Walmart website, which typically is a good thing. And the reason I know this is because I was dabbling around thinking about buying another XR Pro, because you know my Project XR, a beloved bike to the channel, was stolen. So I've been thinking I'll replace the XR Pro. Well, I don't think I'm going to. And let me tell you why. That's because he said that they didn't have that pivot kit. So I asked, well, do you not have the pivot kit? I bought one in the past. You don't have that anymore. They checked. They said, nope, that is no longer available. And the vibe that I get is that the supply of XR Pros that's currently out there in the inventory system or whatever, that's going to be it for the XR Pro. That's the vibe I got. Now, that's not official word, but I do know that they don't have the pivot kits. You know, not a good sign. So why would I buy a bike that didn't have a pivot kit, you know, bushings, things like that, if I need them? And obviously the harder you ride a bike, the more you're going to need stuff. So factor that in if you're shopping for an XR Pro. As a matter of fact, at this point, I don't make recommendations. You know, I just enjoy doing what I do. And if you get some entertainment out of it, a little bit of infotainment out of it, well, that's great. We all win. But I will say that at this point, if you were shopping for an XR Pro, unless that's just what you had your heart set on, I will make a recommendation that I would maybe shift that money somewhere else. Maybe a Mongoose Ledge, an X1, a Ledge X2, something like that. Or there also the Ozark Trail. There's a full, or not a full, it's a hardtail. So don't even talk about that. Won't even talk about that since it's not even a full suspension bike. So you could get a Mongoose. I just wouldn't spend my money on an XR Pro with kind of that big question mark hanging out there as far as parts go, which is sad because the XR Pro was such a staple of this channel. So, hey, maybe whoever stole mine will have a linkage issue and it'll be useless to them. Maybe there's a silver lining to all of this. Maybe that's it. So I see a couple of people Here, let's see. Abdulaziz. You said truck bikes are the best. I'm assuming you said the best. I'm assuming you meant, yeah, you corrected it there, the best. Yeah, I like Trek. I actually am a big Trek fan. I got into mountain biking on a Trek. So always in my heart. Or as Matt Cutchall would say, with the most not dead, my black heart. Always in my heart. Let's see, talking about what's up with the Colton Ardor. I don't know about the Colton. I'm not sure that model. The Ardor, I don't know. Those kind of came, and I don't think I've seen them again. Have you guys? Anyone seen the Ardor again? Rusty X210 2010 says the XR Pro is the most stolen bike in America. Well, it's the most stolen bike to me. I had another one. You know what? Both Mongooses that got stolen. So apparently Mongoose. A lot of people still like the old goose. They still have an affinity for Maurice. And I guess that's a good thing, even though it was thieves. Someone asked, it wasn't it, who were you? Benji22 asked, what about Schwinn? So can't get out of Mongoose without maybe referencing Schwinn, because if you did not know, Schwinn and Mongoose are both Pacific Cycle brands. Pacific Cycle is owned now by a completely new company. It used to be Durrell Industries. Now it's a completely different company, which I think may be part of the carryover rather than new models. Just my thought on that. No firm information there. But as far as Schwinn goes for 2023, that is a different contact within the same company. I've reached out to them. Actually, they reached out to me about getting some information, but they haven't got it back to me yet. So as soon as I hear anything on Schwinn and what Schwinn has for 2023, and I would assume that there's at least some e-bikes at the very least with Schwinn. I hope that they have some mountain bikes, or at least some that come back. I did see quite a few of these staple Schwinn bikes still available at Walmart. We all know and love our staple e-bikes. As a matter of fact, I was going to, before I ran into all my computer trouble here tonight, I was going to tease the new trail again, but a longer footage of it on the aluminum comp, my Project Comp bike. So yeah, that's the buzz, at least as far as I have it, and as far as my understanding or my hunches go for both Mongoose and Schwinn. So I'll let you know when we get something from Schwinn. All right, now I want to talk about something that I've been getting feedback on. We've had a lot of rain here, and I'm in Florence, Alabama, northwest corner of Alabama, and it has been exceptionally rainy. A lot of people don't know that Alabama actually gets more rain or more the amount of rain than I think Seattle, which you wouldn't think. You would think Seattle would get more rain. We actually get more rain. The difference is ours is usually just a constant, steady little stream off and on. Or excuse me, Seattle is a constant, steady stream off and on. We are deluges. It will just come and it will rain, 3 or 4 inches. It was 5 inches the other night. Had to pump up my basement. So we get lots of rain, and we've had bizarre amounts. Since December and January and February, we've had lots of rain. So I don't know if you noticed that slowed down on videos, and I have a lot of bikes I've been trying to get to. I mentioned them in my last live stream, but it's been raining, and I had someone ask me, can you not ride in the rain? Well, yeah, I can ride in the rain, but there's a difference between riding in the rain and trying to film in the rain. If you've ever tried to use a camera in the rain, you'll know. If you ever watch Hollywood, they've got wipe people that just wipe on that lens constantly, and they'll pause shots to wipe real quick and then go right back to the shot. Well, imagine you've got a GoPro on the bike, on yourself, on your helmet, and you're riding through a deluge. You got maybe about 2 seconds before you need to wipe the lens, which is not good when you're trying to get good riding footage. So it's really impossible to get good riding footage, at least worthy enough to make a video out of. At least that would meet my quality standards. So because of that, I don't upload horrible footage. I don't get out. People ask me, do you not ride when it rains? Or you just kind of wimp out there? Well, yeah, in a way I do. But there's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, I have a car. And common sense tells me that if I need to go 3 miles across town and it's pouring down rain, If I had to on a bike, I could and wouldn't have a problem with it, but I do have a car. So for me, I would rather just get in the car and drive 3 miles and 3 miles back rather than get drenched and drench whatever I'm getting and bringing that back in on a bike. But also, you know, I try to protect my bikes, and oh, that sounded like this still was about to give way. So if I collapse, call 911 if I don't get back up. But you know, riding my bikes, I like to try to keep good care of them. And all the time I was in college, I commuted to college, I commuted to work. Even after I got out of college, I bike commuted to work back and forth. Did so in the rain often, unfortunately, because I'll get caught. Always at 5 o'clock. It would always be raining for some reason. Bad thunderstorms. So yeah, I do it. But in general, I try not to make my bikes rust if I can avoid it. And because I'm trying to film so much and doing so, yeah, if it rains, I can. I just prefer not to waste footage when I have a car if I need to go somewhere. So that answers that. If you're a bike person that rides in the rain, more power to you. I'm sure here's Sonia. You were the one I was thinking. I thought, you know, you might get wet up there. So good enough for footage up there. Okay. Well, down here, it floods. And I even got on the trail, you know, you have the overhang from all the trees, the canopy from the trees. And I go 20 or 30 yards, and it's just all blurry and bulby from the water on the lens. So, all right, let's talk. I guess we're going to talk hyper now. That's a hyper. So I guess we're going to talk hyper, but we're not talking about that one. We're going to talk just really quick. I want to give you a sneak. This is going to be coming up in a video. So I'm going to give you a sneak peek at this. I was going to bring the bike in here, but I have so much stuff. I was going to hang it up there, but I can just show you here. Actually, before I do that, let me grab this. There are some accessories that came with the Mod 29 XC cross country. I just call it the Mod 29. My contact at Hyper calls it the Mod 29. I think he was one of the ones that designed it, so I'll just say Mod 29. Actually, I don't even say Mod 29. I call it the Mod Rod. That's what I call the Mod 29. It's a good bike. I like it. But I didn't show what comes in the box. I think I panned down in that video and you could kind of see a couple of things in there, but there's a few things. Number one, there's this little wrench for tightening the tension nut on that Pro Wheel MPX11, I think it is. MPX11 crankset. So there's that tool. That's good to have. A lot of times, you know, you get a bike that's got a Holotech style setup and you don't get the wrench. They give you the wrench. There is also the entire 11-speed drivetrain. There's documentation on that. That there. There is, and people, I've seen a lot of people in comments, that's a Walmart bike. No. The Mod 29 is not a Walmart bike. Now, who's to say what happens in the future? But right now, that is a direct-to-consumer Hyper model, and if you don't know, Hyper makes, you know, there's Hyper bikes at Walmart, but historically, Hyper has been higher end, like BMX bikes, and I think they've even made some higher end mountain bikes. They are a pro-level company historically, so you get stuff like an owner's manual that deals specifically with that bike. You know, in big box, we get generic owner's manuals. And oddly enough, even Trek, who's my friend, what was it, Abdulaziz or whatever, I saw you mention Trek. Even Trek, a lot of times, I see kind of some generic manuals, but this one is specifically for the Mod 29. It even has all the specs and stuff in here. And I got the information here for the SR Sun Tour Radon fork. More fork stuff. Anyway, what I'm getting at is there is more that comes with it. I didn't show that in the video. I even didn't show this. Check this out. It comes with a little fender. I haven't put it on yet. I'll do that in a follow-up video. I totally forgot. I had it laying in here. I meant to put it on. It even comes with the hardware to put it on. So how cool is that? A little fender. Comes with the mod rod. the Mod 29 Cross Country, which I really do wish they would rename to the Mod Rod and give me credit for it. And put a Kev Central sticker on it. That'd be awesome. At least I think it would be. But I like the bike. I really do like the bike. It's really fun. Some people balked at the 69-degree head tube angle. That is perfect for cross country, especially out at our trails where you have to climb some. Standing up to climb on that, yeah, that's fine. That is a great current geometry for a cross country bike. There is one problem though. I did have an issue on my third ride, and I'll make a video on this, but you're kind of getting the sneak peek of it here on this live stream. It has the boost rear through axle, and this is the boost, I don't know, do you still call it a skewer on a boost setup? But it has a nut that secures on the other side, and this goes through, you tighten it up, and then you close it. On my third ride, you know how you're riding and your spidey senses, like your trail senses just start tingling? I just had that something wasn't right. I didn't feel anything bad. I just had this feeling that I need to get off the bike and look at it. So I get off, I do my usual handlebar check to make sure there's nothing there, even though I didn't feel anything. I think maybe I heard something. I got around to the back wheel. Everything looked good. It still shifts through fine. But there was just a hair of play in the back wheel. And what I had noticed is that this skewer, it was just floppy. Like I could just move it. It was floppy. And the way this one works is you actually run it in, and then you can kind of tighten it with an Allen wrench from the other side and get it good and snug, and then run your lever down. It even says in the instructions not to tighten with the lever. You don't tighten with this. So I was really curious to see that apparently it just broke, and it wasn't that the axle broke. Where it broke is, you're not going to be able to see this, but there is a barrel nut in there with an Allen screw, and that threads onto this shaft that gives it tension. Well, what happened was, I don't know from the factory, it just wasn't loose or what happened, but the threads, if I wiggle this enough, it's probably going to come apart on me here. The threads inside there where that barrel nut goes onto, they wallowed out and it couldn't keep tension. So I called Hyper Support. I waited, this was on a weekend, I called Hyper Support, and Hyper Support told me that because this was a direct, it wasn't, I don't know the wording that they used, but basically because it was one of their higher tier models, that they would have to contact someone else to get the part or whatever, and that they would get back to me. They took my email address, and I never heard back from them. And that's been a week and a half maybe. Now I did hear from my contact, whom they're out of the country right now, that they're doing some awesome mountain bike stuff, or bike stuff anyway, but they couldn't give me one of these. So I ordered one off of Amazon for $20, and it's called, you know, we've got Rock Bros. It's a Magic Bros. I ordered a Magic Bros, and it works. And curious enough, this end cap nut, same thread size, but these threads start pretty close to the end. The Magic Bros, the threads start just a little bit in, so a little further in. So I couldn't use this is actually the Magic Bros nut. I used the factory nut. It engaged 2 threads sooner, so it fit a little better. But yeah, just FYI, even though it is, you know, it's a $1,700 bike, $1,699.99, and I love the bike, I did have that. So full disclosure, and I'm gonna go over it in a video and show you what I'm talking. I'll put this back on so you can see what I'm talking about. But I don't, you know, that's just a weird, just one little barrel nut, but obviously a critical point on the bike. So I'm going to be curious to see what, once they get back in the country or whenever Hyper gets back with me, so that they can tell me. But I will say that she asked me, the customer service rep that I was talking to, just outright asked me, okay, do we need to send you an entire new wheel along with the new quick release skewer? I mean, it sounded like they were willing to do whatever it took to get the part. Just, you know, if you are riding your mountain bike and something breaks, you want it fixed. At least me, I'm not a patient person. I want it fixed quickly So waiting, you know, week, 2 weeks to hear some information, no, don't like that. So just FYI there. Sounds like my experience with Pacific Cycles 2 times now in the past, they have ghosted. Ooh, I don't like the sound of that. What, Benji, what kind of problem have you had? I've never had any problem with Pacific Cycle support. As a matter of fact, even the local bike shop, they've bragged about Pacific Cycle support in the past. Oh yeah, we can get more parts easier from Pacific Cycle for their bikes than we can some of the big shop brands. Someone bring in like a brand that they don't service normally. I'm not going to name one, but another main bike shop brand, and they have to contact that brand to get the part. They say sometimes they have to jump through hoops to make that happen. So, hey, you know, I guess it's good that Pacific Cycle is in a way better, though I do think that the pandemic, I know that messed up support, and I heard some problems there. And I don't know about changing hands, the company's changing hands. I don't know about that. I just know from my experience, but I haven't had to call them recently. They have always been great. So, this is the part that I was going to show you the teaser for the new trail, but I didn't know that I was going to be fighting with this PC so long to get this going, because 7:30 was when I was going to start this. 7:30, and I started at what, 9 o'clock? I'm going, so a couple of minutes before 9. So let me look back at chat here, just see what we have. And see, hey, how'd you like the intro music, my starting soon music? Was that pretty good? I picked one out that I thought sounded fun enough to listen to for a couple of minutes while I was setting everything up. Mongoose is the Honda Civic of bikes, Rusty X 2010. Well, that'd actually be a good thing, I guess, because they're reliable and usable cars. The Ardor is being sold as the Colton. It's blue now with the 30.6 seat tube for around $500. Is that so? I haven't heard about that. I'll have to look that up. Is that at Walmart, or are you talking about, because sometimes you'll see like Dick's Sporting Goods or something like that, will get a variation of a bike, or maybe even Target. Is that what you're talking about, Scribbles? So let me know. Be curious about that. I'm going to review the 2023 Trek Marlin. Yeah, I had plans on that. And, you know, normally the bike shop gives me access to the bikes. And I mentioned it. And they're like, well, you know, it's nothing special coming out. So I was wondering if they thought I was going to harp on the fact that it doesn't have a tapered head tube yet. Still going into 2023, at least as far as I know. Because, you know, I kind of made fun of that on the last, even though it's still a good bike. I made fun of that. Hey, what was it? Ben Shapiro's lower lip. That is hilarious. And that's a super chat. I actually have something special for super chat, and I meant to make that sound a bike bell. This is probably going to get a little loud here, but I picked this up not for super chats. I was going to use it in the background, but then I found out it was this loud. So I figured for a super chat, you get the wild, wacky, wavy, inflatable arm flailing guy. Isn't that what they said on what was that, the Family Guy? Wild, wacky, wavy, inflatable arm guy. So there you go. Thank you so much for the super chat. Did you ask a question with that? Smacking me in the face there. You know it's going to be an assaulty type thing. Okay, it's probably getting loud, so I'm going to turn this off. So that's the official new super chat mascot, I guess, for the channel. So thank you so much. See if you said anything. I don't want to. Didn't say anything, but thank you so much. But I do see maybe that is Ben Shapiro's lower lip. I guess officially there. Oh wait, he did say something. I rode BMX all of my teens and into my mid-20s, and now I'm in my late 30s and I plan on getting back and riding. What's the best? Buy a Kent 29-inch or upgrade my entry-level Trek Marlin. Okay, I'm taking it you're new here because I don't make recommendations. I can tell you what I would do, and I could tell you, you know, the Kent 29, you didn't mention which Kent 29. I'm assuming you're talking about the Trouvaille. That's 29, right? Again, they're all blurring to me. I have to go through my basement mental inventory here. But the Trouvaille's a good bike. The Trek Marlin is also a good bike. I'm assuming if you need to upgrade the Marlin, that you would also need to upgrade whatever, like something on the Trouvaille level. So when you get there, I start thinking, well, how much money are you going to spend versus how much would it cost to get something else? So if you could spend, what's the Truvail? Aren't they like $398, something like that? So that's $400. You know, personally, I would probably consider making my Trek Marlin better. What model Marlin? Let me just start there. You can comment, tell me what Marlin, and we'll go from there. But I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. We've got Sean A. Garrison. You didn't like the music? Okay, well, I'll pick something different next time. I liked it. That was kind of the free music, you know, kind of hard to find the free music. Dusty T. I had a major rear triangle issue with the Ledge X2 I bought. Took a year and a half to get it resolved. They had no parts in stock. They ended up sending me an entirely new bike. You probably got caught up in the supply shortage. You know, we just came out of that, or are coming out of it. So that probably dealt a big hit there. Scribbles, no clue what you meant by Amazon. I'm sure it was in reference to something that I said. I'm sorry, but don't know what you mean there. So let's just go through here. You're the guy who's rear triangle. Okay, let's talking to the other person. Let's see. Target used to have a nice mountain bike, but now, wait a minute. Let me go back up. Was that Benji? Scribbles, were you talking about the Ardor? The Colton being an Amazon bike? Curious now. Got me curious. They used to have nice mountain bikes, but not anymore as far as Target. You know, Target had the Ascension. They had the Ascension, which was a pretty good bike. Wasn't it the first one that had internal cable routing kind of in its price range of the Schwinn and Mongoose bikes? I think that was the first one. I still have the Ascension frame. I think I have it stripped down right now. I need to do something with that. I like the rollover and grips on the 29, but dislike the wheel. Okay, so this is Joe Davila. You say, anyone like the rollover and grip of 29s but dislike the wheel flex? What kind of, or more effort to get the wheels good? Definitely more effort to get the wheels going. But getting on, once you get the speed and you get up to a higher speed on 29ers, I kind of like that. What do you mean by flex? What wheels are you having flex? Because you shouldn't have a bad flex on a good 29-inch wheel. That would be concerning to me. If I was riding and I was having bad wheel flex, I'd start thinking maybe some different wheels. Okay, Jack. Well, hey, Jack, how are you? Truvail had a bad rear hub, reported to Kent last October. They never replied back. Emailed them again this past Friday. They finally decided to send me a rear wheel. That's good. You know, I don't think I've ever had to contact Kent support. I don't think, you know, maybe I need to start doing that. Just to see what they say. Say I have an issue, and then, you know, don't take the part, but just see if something's available. Let's see, Latour 32RR. No problem with the 44mm head tube. My high-end brands still use it. Okay, I'm guessing you were talking to someone else. So I'll skip through that. Glenn Chang, and I'm trying to read these out loud a little better because what I noticed in my last few live streams is I would start reading and I would kind of murmur to myself. So just going to try to read these. Wondering how long the Trek Marlin, this is Glenn Chang, I'm wondering how long the Trek Marlin has been sold for. 10 years, maybe more. Yeah, it's a good question. It's probably 10 years or more. Marlin's been around for a long time. I know it's been around since 2013, I think, was when I bought my... No, I know, well, I don't know. I'm just making up. I was trying to think when I was in college and I bought a Trek. I graduated in 2015. So when I was in college and I bought a Trek, they had the Marlin because that was what I went in there to buy. I'm gonna get me another Trek mountain bike, and you know things have changed. I had a 26 as my first Trek mountain bike, and then I got on the big 29er Marlin, and I just didn't like it for what I was going to be using it for, which was a little trail riding, but mostly commuting. And I went with a Trek DS. Even took that out to the mountain bike trails. Probably shouldn't have, but it held up. Held up to everything in need. Scribbles was talking about Amazon. So the Colton is being sold at Amazon, so they rebranded it. Now, usually, when I see Mongoose and Schwinn put something on Amazon or somewhere else and it's a rebrand, usually there's something else they changed. So it might be the same frame, but usually there's some other stuff. At least that's been my experience. Andrew Morris, thanks Kev, because of you, I started a new hobby and found a new way to spend my money. I'm all about spending my money. Honestly, though, I love your content. Well, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate everyone that is here. Well, we have 110 viewers. Oh, by the way, I was talking about the Emo's Not Dead. Matt Cutshaw, when I was on his live stream, his channel was huge, like huge, huge. And I must have caught it right at the beginning or something, because I looked up and it had 251 viewers. And I thought it was funny. I commented, one of the people that was one of the 250 other people said, wow, I didn't expect to see Kev Central on here. So I thought that was, what are the odds of that? 330 something million people in the United States. And there happened to be, out of 251 of them, 2 of us were Kev Central people. So how about that? I thought that was funny. But thank you, Andrew Morris. Shades 1201, I appreciate you being here. And if you guys are, well, everyone, I say guys as a general term, if you are here late, thank you for being here. I'll give you a free sticker just for being part of the live stream viewers. All you have to do is head over to kevcentral.com. In the bottom right hand corner of it's probably going to be backwards on your screen, but in the bottom right hand corner of the screen, there's a little chat bubble. If you just let me know, hey, I was one of the people that was on your live stream, and give me your channel name or your visiting name here, and I can go, yeah, you definitely were there. I'll send you a 2x2 fits perfect on a seat tube or on a bike frame sticker just for being here. I'll even pay the shipping. Thank you for being part of the channel. So thanks, Shades. What's that? Let's see, that's AUIOs, or is that AUTENs? Okay, I'm getting nothing there. I'm sure it means something. But still see those on the shelves. Talking about, I really wish that this YouTube thing had the, like that Microsoft thing that was competing with Twitch where it was near instant. This 30-second delay is really horrible to try to keep up with chat. And what's going on? More people talking about the Marlin. And Marlin came from the Gary Fisher line. So Gary Callahan clarified that the Marlin came from the Gary Fisher line. Those Gary Fisher bikes, some of those are still good to this day. Shy Guy had a Diamondback 29er. Wheels on that flex. When I got it, it turns out to be loose spokes. Yeah, that's good troubleshooting. That is very good troubleshooting. What I have always had with e-bikes, specifically rear hub driven e-bikes, the way you can really tell if there's loose spokes is you'll hear that little tink, tink, tink. Just that random little tink, and usually you can roll it around with weight on it and find exactly which 2 spokes need the attention. But yeah, thank you for helping out a fellow viewer. That's very nice. Diamondback bikes are good bikes. That's funny. Abdulaziz, that is funny because years ago, Diamondback, as far as when I got into, this was even after I got into when I got into mountain biking, I guess the second time, there was a friend of mine that I actually bought him the Diamondback and he paid me back for it. And we got it at Dick's Sporting Goods, and Diamondback was just one of those, one of those brands that kind of floated right at that big box level, but maybe just a hair above it. Kind of just one of those bikes. And now to see what Diamondback is today, it's pretty funny. So whenever I see anyone, yeah, Diamondback's a great bike. Not too awful long ago, people were looking at a Diamondback and going, meh, yeah, I'd rather have a blah, blah, blah. But now, even those old bikes, oh yeah, it's a good bike. So it's pretty funny how stuff gets trendy and even ups its own self just because of the quality of the bike. Because in my opinion, they've always made pretty good bikes. By the way, I was talking about that head tube angle on the Mod Rod, the Mod 29 at 69 degrees. I was looking up, I found the Marlin, I think, still had a 69 degree head tube angle. There was some Specialized bike that was right there. And there was a Diamondback bike, a couple of them that had 69 degree head tube angles. There was one, a cross-country mountain bike, currently sold by Diamondback, listed on their website. Can't remember the model. 71 degree head tube angle. So I thought that was pretty funny because that's old big box. But of course, you go back far enough, it might be a legacy frame, because you go back far enough, and yeah, they're riding around 70. I mean, when mountain biking first came into being, they were doing it on straight steer, They were doing it on non-suspension forks, just standard little steel forks. I can't, downhilling, can't imagine. Can't imagine. So just gonna grab through here, scribbles bigger pie seat tube. Yeah, okay, let you guys talk amongst yourselves. The more money you spend on bikes, this is Sonia, the less you the less you have for drugs or other vices. You know, that's pretty funny you mentioned that because I am so, how do I word this? I don't like drugs. I don't like smoking. It's for me. I don't critique what other people do with their lives or with their bodies, but I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't even drink. I drink Evian. There are 3 brands of bottled water that I drink. I'm very picky. 3 brands of bottled water and juice. I don't touch alcohol. I don't touch caffeine. I won't drink tannic acid. I'm very particular with this stuff. So if I ever get kidney stones, everything that they've ever told us is a lie because I only drink water so much. So, yeah, I don't have a lot of vices. So that's why I guess I can have a bunch of bikes and buy the parts for them, because also I want to mention this. You know, I'm one of the few YouTubers that I don't get money from outside sources. I make my money off ad revenue, like super chats, things like that. I don't get paid by the brands to review the bikes. I mean, I probably should because, God, people are making money. I got leaked on an email, and it was some of the brands that I've reviewed bikes for that were listed as clients. And, well, I won't say. I'll just leave that one there. I don't want to say any more, but there's some money that moves hands behind the scenes on a lot of videos, and man, a lot of it apparently. But I live a very frugal lifestyle, so it doesn't take a lot of overhead, so I can buy a fork whenever I need to, or a seat post or a dropper post. Though I got cheap, I have 2 right down here, 2 dropper dropper posts, kind shocks, and they're 27 too. So I'm so frugal. I bought a shim, 100 millimeter shim that adapts for the 31.6 down to 27.2 to use one of those dropper posts on the mod rod rather than buy a 31.6 dropper post for it because I had 2. So once I ferry through those, I'll use it for a while on that bike, and when there's something else, then I'll buy 31.6. Gotta be frugal. That's the name of the game, especially when, you know, somebody like me that deals with big box bikes. What about those other sticker designs for the Kev reviews? Talking about that sticker design, and I don't know if you've went over to my Kev Reviews channel. It's my secondary channel that I started playing with just to see how quick I could get a channel monetized, and turns out it was like a week. But when I got it monetized, I never did find its footing, and then I finally found what I wanted to do with the channel, and YouTube stole my brand and made a video about it. So if you want to hear about how I lost my Kev Reviews brand, head over there. But yeah, if somebody wants one of those stickers, just let me know. I have plenty of those, and I guess I'm going to have to change the channel name or something like that. Maybe I could pick something KR, because I paid for this logo design. I like that. So yeah. Anyway, I don't want to ramble too much longer. I know it's getting late. It's almost 10 o'clock. Wow. I'll just quickly glance through here. People talking about seat tubes. I love the interaction between the viewers. Trek Excalibur 9 2013. I don't know. The wheels flexing and turns also, mostly when leaning the bike. Interesting. Let's see what Tavon Sanders says. If I'm mispronouncing anyone's name, the only thing I can claim is that I live in a state where we're 49th out of 50 for education. So factor that in. Factor that in. And I even got a degree at the college, so factor that in. But that'll look good on my cheap S29. S29, wasn't that available at Sam's Club? The S29? Had people asking me about that bike for a while, but I never could find one. Never could find one to try out. Bruce Hamilton, I was there at your live stream. This is where the delay comes in. I was talking about something, and they responded to that. Maybe they'll get this synced up one day. That'd be perfect. Plans to upgrade anything on the Mod 29 cross country, the mod rod. This is from Jack Lowe. The dropper post. I'm going to put a dropper post on it. I'm going to put better pedals on it. And I think I'm going to try maybe tires at some point. But I'm going to try to incrementally do this just like you would do. Put a dropper post on it, put pedals on it, ride it as it is. See how it does. Oh, well, of course, also put a new skewer on it for that rear through axle. You just look over the rest of these here. Hey, Peter Yang, you don't drink alcohol, don't gamble, don't do drugs, good for you. Good for you. Don't even have any tattoos. Only thing hard is cycling. Frugal is smart. Yes, it is. Rusty, awesome. Whatever you were liking, talking to someone else there. It's actually almost 11. Oh yeah, did this not update? No, for me, it's 9. It's 9:55, so it's almost 10 here. I'm Central Time, so you must be East Coast. War Thunder shorts. There are going to be any more Mongoose bikes. I'm a little late to the party. You're a little late to the party. If you want to, I'm about to end this. So when I do, if you want to kind of go back and watch, I talk all about that, all about the Mongoose bikes, all about Schwinn bikes, and so on. So I apologize rather than just constantly keeping this going. By the way, I like the War Thunder shorts. You play the game War Thunder? I played World of Tanks forever. Spent gosh knows how much money on this nice stable of tanks, and then realized that they throttled the game to make it where everyone is kind of at about the same level. So you work really hard, really hard, really hard, and then you're pinging people right where you should ping them, and then someone comes in with a lesser tank and lobs a shot, blows you up. I got mad, quit playing. But War Thunder, I tried that out. Just didn't take. It didn't take. Benji 22, we don't mind the rambling. Well, thank you, because I ramble a lot. A lot. What are your thoughts on D&M rear shocks? I like D&M rear shocks. I think this Ready Set Game, I think they are good for the money. Well, there's one right there. A D&M rear shock. That will be going on that bike. Right there. I'm going to take it off and put it on there. We have here, thanks for your family-friendly videos. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. This is my favorite channel. This is Joel Davila. Am I saying that properly? I hope so. Davila? I try to make it family-friendly. I was raised, my parents pretty much were great parents, but I was raised that you don't swear. I'm not perfect. But you don't just unnecessarily swear. And I think it's so ironic that you get on YouTube and you're watching a video and they let some stuff rip and well, why did you even say that? There's no reason to use that. You have to forcefully interject that. So I always found that odd. And then they have the policies and all the controversy with the language policy here on YouTube. I'm always immune because I don't swear, but I do find it odd that some channels that swear a lot have never seemed to have any problems with their monetization, but I guarantee you, if I opened up with a few words, that they would yank mine. Can guarantee that, because it took my brand. It took my brand. They didn't physically, forcefully take my brand. It was just a byproduct of the way things work, and they wouldn't give it back. So, again, I have a video on that on my Kev Reviews channel. And I thought it was being pretty nice in that video, because I was kind of wound up making that. I had to take a few breaks. Let's see, Benji, the sim rig. Oh no, this scrolling on it. I assume Bama was East Coast. No, we are Central Time here in Bama. I think it's all the state. I think the Georgia line is where it happens. Do you think, this is from Flash 5, do you think it is advisable to put a 150 millimeter air shaft on a 34 millimeter fork, or is it overkill? Okay, so you're talking about putting on you've got a fork with 34 millimeter stanchion tubes, and you're wanting to put stanchions in them so you could adjust it up to 150 millimeter. What fork? Because you get up to 34 millimeter stanchions, and there's a possibility that you might be able to bump it up to maybe even 160 just with taking the fork apart, well, yeah, you do still have to drop the lowers off. You might be able to adjust that, because most forks you can go, well, you get up to the better forks. Suntour example, a Pixon and Radon. I think I'm going to do that. It's something somebody asked me if I was going to do anything else to the Mod 29. I think I'm going to extend the travel by 20 millimeters on that fork. because that fork should be adjustable between about 80 and maybe 120, possibly 140. I'll see when I take it apart. But I know the Apixons, a lot of those, you can really extend that travel. So you might want to check yours. You can probably adjust it. Jack Lowe, how about the RockShox Reverb cableless dropper? Haven't seen that. Sounds expensive. Sounds expensive, so you can take it off anytime. That sounds awesome. But it sounds expensive, kind of like those, the derailleurs and the shifters where you don't have to, it's like cableless. Cool, but when you start talking big bucks and running out of juice mid-trail ride would really tick me off. And again, I try to be nice here. You're getting first date Kev. When you come to Kev Central, it's first date Kev always. Because I get to give you my good sides. I can even edit out when I'm doing a video. If I say something stupid, I can edit it out. That's why I didn't do live streams for the longest, because I was worried I would just say something really, really bad without thinking about it. Just come off at the top of my head. But when I'm short-tempered with stuff that I can't figure out, it really gets me mad. So I'll grumble and gripe about something, but I will keep coming back at it. And out on the trail in the middle of Alabama summer, just say this. Wildwood is about to start getting a lot of attention now because of the new trails that they're cutting, which are going to be so awesome. But if you come out here in late July, I do not like, my family for generations has been in Alabama, so I find it odd that I am so intolerant to the heat and the humidity. But if you meet me out on the trail and I've been out there and something on the bike breaks or something messes up my ride and I'm sweating to death in the middle of summer, oh, I will be testy as all get out. It's not a pleasant thing. So yeah, I guess I don't even know where I got off on that, but I am at least at my best here, I hope, on Kev Central. Try not to swear. I think that's where I got to. Fox 34 rhythm. Oh yeah, man. You'll be able to adjust that. I don't know if you can go up to 150. What's it at right now? Is it like 120 or something? Yeah, check with your local bike shop or get the schematics or the instructions for the Fox. You will probably be able to gain some travel without having to buy anything. Especially if you're not, usually you only need spacers when you're reducing the travel. Take them out and gain travel. So yeah, check that out, because that's a good fork, a really good fork. The Normal Berries, that's a cool name. Does anybody know of someone who works on Cannondale head shocks on the West Coast? Yeah, that Cannondale stuff. You know, I've always had an affinity for Cannondale. I almost brought my lefty bike to hang up here for this video, but it's been raining all day, so I decided, well, I think it's stopped now, but I decided I wasn't gonna weather the basement trip for it. So your men's only bike channel and YouTube would come out. You know, that I'm probably also not the demographic that they really want. Hey, Ben Shapiro, did you give another super chat? See a $1 one there. Did that sneak by? Maybe it just hasn't notified me. And there it notified me. Okay, I'm gonna give you the flailing, inflatable if I don't get assaulted here by the in wacky way. I should do it over here where it's outside of the notification. But thank you. I know that's super loud for you guys. I apologize, but thank you so much. Meant to buy a Kent upgrade. I'm gonna turn this off now. Meant to buy a Kent an upgrade or buy an entry level. Okay. So you were talking earlier about upgrading the Trek Marlin or upgrading a Kent. Here would be my suggestion. If you're going to buy a brand new Trek Marlin, the entry level is the Marlin 4. My local bike shop won't even carry the 4. That's kind of a lower level, and personally I think the Truvel might be a little better than that. But the Trek 5 would be probably where a bike shop would try to steer you, a 5 or up. If you're going to buy a 5 and then stick $300-400 or whatever on it, or buy a Truvel, stick $300 or $400 on it, I would start looking at that Marlin and going to the next level Marlin, because they're usually about $200 apart. So you could probably get a Marlin 6 for the same price you would pay for a Truvel, and the upgrades or the Marlin 5 and the upgrades. And a Marlin 6, you start getting to a Marlin 6, that's, yeah, it's a pretty good bike. In my opinion, that's a really good entry-level bike. So that would be where that'd be where I would look. So scroll back up here, because I guess just keep going with this chat for just a little bit longer. Brakes for sure. With the Benji, you're talking to someone about brakes. Yeah, they're under $50 now. One of these tubs, well, you can't see the edge here. I think this top one, it has my stockpile of brakes. Remember when brakes were like $129? I started getting worried they were going to go up to like $199, so I bought a few extra sets. So now I have massively overpriced brakes. I have a good stockpile of them. As a matter of fact, let me grab this. Ooh, Flash 5. Super Chat, I'll be right back to you, Flash 5. Show you these. See if anyone, let's see, live stream, learn some stuff. This is going on this bike. But I bought some 4-piston brakes. I don't remember what brand they were. M4? What is this? Let's see what these are, if I can see what this. Well, I hope they put a block in there, because I'm all kinds of squeezing on the... Yeah, they did. Whew. I was starting to squeeze on these levers, trying to get this off here. What are these? This quality. Maroka. If I got, these are four piston. Supposed to be, I think it said 4 caliper. These are supposed to be 4 piston. That's what it said. Looking like dual piston to me. But anyway, that's what they have, that minerally oil smell. Probably not good. Been in this bag, but I bought these. I've had these for a while. They're going on that thing. I'm going to put some hydraulic brakes on that. Wow, these look a lot like... I don't know. I'll have to look closer at those. I'll get to you, Flash 5 here. I haven't forgotten about you. But brakes, yeah, how funny. Now that I have plenty of brakes, they're super cheap now. You don't swear, what could you possibly say that's bad? Oh, I swear in person. In person, when I get mad at something, I'll let some stuff rip. I don't like to, because that's just not, again, not how I was raised. As a matter of fact, anytime I've ever heard my dad swear, that's when you know something like is either really not working out properly, or you as a son have really messed up. That would be the tipping point. He just never swore much. He's a very organized guy. You like the hot weather? We'll come to Alabama in the middle of the summer. I have a friend, she's from Quebec. She is from Quebec, and she, in August, visited Savannah, Georgia, and told me she was coming to Savannah, Georgia. I was like, you're going to melt. You are absolutely, because she would complain when it was 80-something degrees up in Quebec City. She would complain, oh, it's like 80 degrees up here and it's humid. And I would just laugh. You have no idea what humidity, can't even speak. You have no idea what humidity is. Ready, set, game. You're moving to Vegas from New York, but to be quite a difference. Yeah, that'll be different. Vegas, and it's not the humidity. It's not the heat, it's the humidity. I used to believe that, and it is true to a large degree, but I can tell you, in Phoenix, Arizona, when it's like 110 degrees outside, it is hot. I don't care humidity or not. I was at a United Nations college with a friend. It's called Thunderbird, and it was in Glendale, Arizona. And I remember I was at the pool, and there was this Russian girl, beautiful Russian girl, came and she sat down at the pool, and she was just sweating to death. She said, I think I'm going to get in the water. She got in the water, and I thought she was going to be like a lobster, get cooked alive in the water, because it was like but you could go into the swimming pool at night, and it was like hot water, like you were taking a bath. It was the weirdest thing in the world. So let's see, I'm getting kind of rambly here. So, do you sell the Stranger Things? Oh, no. That is up above me here in the loft. And as soon as I get paint on these walls, it's going to be, when you walk into the bike barn, there will be the Stranger Things bike with it, Stranger Things walkie-talkie that I have. And then there will be Stranger Things probably posters beside it. Because I like me some Stranger Things and I like that bike. I don't have any plans to ever sell that bike. Upgrades for the axle. Hey Michael Wall, how are you? Upgrades for the axle. Replace all the bearings with sealed and hydraulic brakes. Is that what you did to yours? That sounds like seem very, very good. Upgrades. Let's see. Telepathy. I can't even speak. Oh gosh, you know who you are. Ed Andrew Morris. You're talking to somebody about forks, so I don't even have to respond to that. But hello to you. Will there be hybrid bike reviews? This from Magnum. Magnum. I don't think there's any that are coming out that I'm aware of. Yeah, that's kind of that niche where Walmart bikes and big box bikes, the affordable bikes, just don't see a lot of them. I'll tell you what's coming out. It's like 99% of what's coming out is e-bikes. E-bikes. I get between 5 and 12, especially now. It's getting into bike season or ramping to bike season. Every day I wake up and there's just floods of companies wanting me to review their bikes. Almost all of them are e-bikes. And so many of them, I would say, if I get 12, I'll say 10. If I get 10 companies, hey, will you check out our bike? I will get probably 4 to 5 of the 10 that are exact same as the others. They'll be matching models just with different brands shoved on them. So I've gotten kind of more picky about what I'll review. I used to, try to cover everything that I could, but now I'm getting a little picky. And it's not that I don't enjoy reviewing bikes. It's just if it's the same bike and has a different sticker on it, maybe a different computer or something like that, then it's not worth reviewing to me because it's the same bike. And there's a lot of that in the e-bike. So if you don't like e-bikes, that's most of what's coming out. It's a lot of e-bikes, but hopefully we'll get more. I do know of two I have. I'll talk about it here in just a second. It's a Siskiyou. I don't know what model it is. It's still in the box. But I have one of the Siskiyou full suspension bikes. But I also know that there are some brands that you're familiar with. There are some bikes that will be coming out, but will be Amazon specific as far as I know. So hopefully I'll get my hands on those soon. Shy Guy, you need to start making your man cave more colorful with some sticker bomb wall and paint. Because it's on camera, I was going to keep this a neutral color so that it would just look good, but I guess you'll always see that, and I don't really plan on painting that. If I had all this to do all over again, I said it earlier, I would just do OSB everywhere, but I had one part thought I would do like the orange stripe and a big Kev Central logo. I don't know, we'll see. The reason I'm doing this sheetrock is so I can put peelable stickers and things like that. What's the command strips? I can hang stuff like my play button, the command strips and stuff like that. So e-bike kit videos. Who's with me? This Hunter Jackson. Hunter, I don't plan, and hey, Andrew Morris above that. I don't plan on that. You can get a bike. You can get a bike now that has the kits already on it, and I get, yeah, you've chosen your stuff and all that, but those kits, usually by the time you put a battery with it, a good battery, it's expensive, and it looks like a bike that has a kit on it. I would rather have stuff that's integrated personally. That's just me, so I never say no. I don't ever say no, but that's just not something I plan on. Look at the Polygon Siskiyou D7 or a T7. That might be what is in the box that I have. It's very close to that. So I don't think it's the D5. I think it might be the D or T7. And they mentioned to me even some more bikes. And a lot of people, there's a Syncline, I think it is a carbon fiber hardtail bike that's cheaper than the mod. But it looked like it had some pretty good specs. So we'll see. But it looked like that it was leftover 2021 models that they're just trying to clear out. So I don't know. We'll see. Mike Wall Maximum got thick slicks, 11-speed narrow wide with oval front chain ring, sort of corner bars. Wow. MT200 brakes and a carbon front fork. She's fast. It sounds like you definitely built that for speed. You know, it's pretty funny because I film my fitness level. Of course, I'm on e-bikes. I have got my fitness levels went down anyway because I ride so many e-bikes. But especially, oh god, riding that's so fun on the trail. And I'm so scared of once I get this finished how bad my fitness level is going to get. But out on the trail, it used to be fairly conditioned. I never ride super fast or anything, but it was pretty good. I could ride all day and be fine. Now that I do YouTube filming when I'm on bikes, I tend to do things in little segments so that it's easier for me to stitch stuff together. And you would be amazed what that does to your endurance, and not in a good way. I am really good at giving everything that I have for these like 100-yard bursts. I could take off and leave just about anybody. I'm not racers, but you know, the average person, I'll take off and leave them for 100 yards, never catch me. And then at the end of 100 yards, I'll literally have to stop because I'm so conditioned to going the 100 yards and then messing with camera and then going 100 more yards and messing with, really messes up your stamina, but it's still fun. Still fun. So I envy you with your fastly built bike. Shocked by the e-craze out there. It's Richie Vegas. The e-bikes are fun, man, if that's what you're talking about. Randy, here's hoping e-bikes go the way of the dodo. I don't think so, but I understand the viewpoint. Richie Vegas, old school. Also Richie Vegas, old school, no e-bike. So you clearly don't like e-bikes, and to each their own. And as we go, what do we have here? I love the thick slicks. Yeah, those are cool. I think I had a bike that had them on them. I think I bought a set of tires. When I got desperate with those cycling deal wheel sets that you could get pretty cheap on Amazon, the last ones, they would have thick slicks and I'd have to swap those over. So I'm sure I've got a few sets. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up because it's taking forever and I'm starting to get tired and I need to take a drink. Water, not alcohol. Take a drink of water here. So let me wrap this up. Just give the final shot, guy. I'd love to look at your parts bin. It's multiple parts bins and it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. Hopefully, when I can get these walls done, right here will be a workbench. And I even have a camera mounted right up here that I'll be able to angle down, and hopefully maybe we can do some live streams that include some live upgrades or live repairs, things like that I can do on the little fold down metal workbench. So hopefully you'll be seeing some of the stuff that's in these bins. So let's just give a last glance here. Thank you so much if you have made it this far. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate the couple of super chats, and know that in the future we'll have our wacky wavy inflatable flailing arm guy to greet all of them. Thank you so much. And because I've had an issue with this system, I'm going to go to my offline screen, but you might hear me for a second after I go to the offline screen because for some reason it's not muting my mic like it should anymore. But thank you so much for taking part in this stream. I'll see you in the next video.